In the early 90s, as the Indian economy began to open and the winds of liberalization started flowing across the country, the industrial policy of Government of Maharashtra of 1993 placed Pune-Ahmednagar Road as an attractive destination for industries. In a short span of time, the whole area began to buzz with activities as a sizable number of industries decided to set up their manufacturing facilities on this upcoming industrial belt. However, this new industrial belt had its own share of problems.
We had a lot of issues pertaining to availability of electricity, telephone lines, buses.
Like Makari Kamkar, scrap dealers, for government issue.
It was on 6th June 1994 that a group of industrialists holding manufacturing units on Pune-Nagar Road assembled over high-tech and plastics limited at the invitation of its director, Mr. Yogesh Vakhani. And hence, Nagar Road Industries Association was born. Right from inception, the motto of NRIA was to get rid of the problems occurring in operation of the industries.
The dream was to make a mini Japan and do something together for the betterment of industries.
The first major activity which NRIA took under its wings was to construct a proper police station at Shikrapur. With the help of some of the member industries who contributed a sizable sum, NRIA undertook the project of constructing the police station.
Now, it is one of the best police stations in the whole area.
In order to truly reflect the work being done under the umbrella of NRIA and augment its further growth, in August 2004, the association converted itself into Nagar Road Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, a body corporate registered under Companies Act 1956. In April 2009, in order to break its regional mold and to open the membership to industries located in different parts of Pune and Maharashtra, the chamber was rechristened as Deccan Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, Pune. DCCIA is formed on 7 basic pillars, namely quality, cost, safety, development, morale, wisdom and innovation.
I have been executive committee member for last 10 years and I am heading the chamber as chairman for last 5 years and try my best to take the chamber to new heights.
To achieve this, the executive committee is ably assisted by subcommittees working independently in areas of internal taxation and foreign trade, human resources, environment, health and safety, corporate social responsibility, education, innovation, etc. From time to time, Chamber invites various eminent personalities and industry leaders to share their views and interact socially with the CEOs, MDs, and decision makers of member industries. Dignitaries such as Dr. Mohan Kashe, noted theatre and film personality, Padmashri Dr. Lee Poonawala, noted industrialist, Mr. Vittal Kamath, CMD, Kamath Group of Hotels, Mr. Raj Jain, former MD, Whirlpool, Padmashri Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, Mr. Prabhakar Deshmukh, former Divisional Commissioner of Pune, Dr. Ganesh Natarajan, former Vice Chairman and MD of Zensar Limited, etc. In the year 2002, the Chamber took a unique initiative to felicitate eminent personalities for their valuable contribution to the society by instituting 4 awards.
We recognize people who have accomplished something in their field. They became a role model.
It has been over 16 years now since the above awards were instituted. Lifetime Achievement Award, Award of Excellence, Public Service, Award of Excellence, Best Industrialist, Award of Excellence, Social Service. Till date, number of eminent personalities and industry leaders have been the recipient of above awards. Besides, it has been the privilege of Chamber to have many eminent dignitaries to grace the occasion as chief guest. various evolving issues such as the ground child tax, legal matters, Madhari issues, local self-government, pay and toll.
Due to toll Naka that had come up, travel time that was very high, DCCI had filed a writ petition in the High Court, as a result of which we had got a judgment in our favor, and partly due to our efforts, we were able to get the toll Naka removed.
Right since 2005, the Chamber has been continuously managing the traffic on this stretch.
I will be failing in my duty if I don't acknowledge the human contribution made by our treasurer, Mr. Sundar Agarwal.
So we got down to discuss this. We said, okay, why not employ some wardens? Let's make our life easy.
We deployed as many as 14 traffic wardens.
Besides, Chamber has been conducting various meaningful programs for the benefit of the members. Some of these are post-budget sessions, customs and indirect taxations, seminars on industrial safety, Kaizen Mela team building, lean manufacturing, 5S, CEO dinner, etc. In the year 2006, the Chamber was notified by Ministry of Commerce, Office of DGFT as an authorized agency for issuing Certificate of Origin non-preferential. The Chamber, through its HR committee, plays a meaningful role in maintaining peaceful industrial relations. Regular meetings conducted with police officials and other stakeholders in this regard. The Chamber has also signed MOU with World Trade Center for mutual cooperation in various areas relating foreign trade. The Chamber also has working arrangement with Singapore Chamber of Commerce and Turkish Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Recognizing the role of sports, 2 years ago, the Chamber started DCCIA Cricket League for member industries, which has received a very good response.
The Chamber publishes 4 quarterly magazines called Safi. Besides this, we also publish 1 annual magazine called Sparsh, which covers all the activities of the Chamber during the year.
Today, we are most active industry association, and I would urge all those who are still not become a member to become a part of us and be a part of the countries.
We have at present membership of over 200 members. I hope to get it to 400 in next 2 years.
Thank you, Ritesh. Good evening to all. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture. I would also welcome our network partners, Indo-Latin American Chamber of Commerce, World Trade Center, Global India Business Forum, Indo-African Chamber of Commerce, EU Chamber of Commerce, and Custom House Association. Before we go ahead, I would like to introduce DCCIA. DCCIA is a prominent chamber of commerce in Pune, having a membership of about 200 industries and service providers across Pune. Our chamber strives in fostering a congenial atmosphere for promotion and development of industries in industrial region. The group represents large multinational industries at one end, young entrepreneurs starting SSI unit in the region at the other end. Today we all are here for an exclusive webinar on charging manufacturing capacity utilization through online cloud-based technology platform. Before we start today's webinar, I would also welcome our today's guest eminent speaker, Mr. Avinash Bapat, Mr. Ratin Sinha, Chairman of DCCIA, Mr. H.P. Srivastava, Vice Chairman of DCCIA, Mr. Mukund Jagirdar, HR Head and Admin of ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel and Chairman of HR Committee, DCCIA. Before we go ahead, I would like to introduce our respected Chairman, Mr. Ratin Sinha. Sinha born in the state of West Bengal. He did first 2 years of schooling from the Bishop School and later from J.N. Technical High School, Pune. He joined prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, from where he obtained his BTech degree in mechanical engineering. He is an avid reader and likes to travel. He has traveled all over Europe, China, and South Asia. He is passionate about design, be it product or purpose. He is also an inventor holding several patents to his credits. Mr. Sinha started his career as entrepreneur, setting up a process shop named Messrs. Precision Manufacturers and tool room named Pioneer Tool and Die Company in Bhosri in industrial area, Pune in 1976. These companies are now OEM suppliers to Bajaj and TVS Group, etc. Presently, he is managing director of Mrs. Sen Stamping Private Limited, where they specialized in manufacturing spun parts from sheet metal for various applications such as centrifugal projectiles, liners, domes, etc., made from diverse materials such as stainless steel, steel, copper, aluminium, mild steel, etc. They are OEM suppliers to multinational companies such as Alpha Level, Tranter, Uniqlinger, etc., and also to ordnance factories for defense purpose. Mr. Sinha is also founding uh, partner of Vastav Strategic Solutions LLP, which provides consultancy to corporates in strategic planning, legal, financial operation, IT-related areas for manufacturing firms in MSME sectors. Apart from being an entrepreneur, Mr. Sinha is actively involved in social service since long. He was a member of Pune Roundtable 65 for several years, twice as its president. He joined Rotary Club of Pune downtown in 1993 and after holding various positions in managing committee, became president during the centennial year of Rotary in 2004-2005. Through the Rotary Club, he is associated with numerous CSR activities such as providing free hand to victims of accidents who have lost a limb, providing oxygen concentrators for several affected COVID patients free of cost, etc. He is also the founder member of DCCIA and has served as Honorable Secretary for the Chamber for many years. Now, I would like to request our respected Chairman, Mr. Ratin Sinha, to please welcome our today's participants. Mr. Sinha.
Thank you, Darshana, for giving the very nice introduction. A bit too long, but yes, thank you very much. I would like to welcome Mr. Avinash Bapat, who's going to talk about his company Capximize and tell us about the new and a novel approach that they are having to improve productivity. That is to how to utilize the available capacity to the maximum and to get the orders from the various sources where we cannot access. So using technology, how Avinash Bapat will be able to help industries maximize their productivity or capacity utilization is what we are going to hear from him. So with these few words, I would like to welcome him and also, of course, Mr. Jagirdar, who is going to compare the session. So I welcome Mr. Jagirdar. And without any further ado, I'd request Mr. Jagirdar to take over and to start with the proceedings of this seminar, which should be beneficial to all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thanks to, I welcome on behalf of Deccan Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, Pune, to all the participants for this webinar, and also welcome Mr. Sinha and Mr. H.P. Srivastava for this seminar. I thank Avinash Bapat, also Mr. Avinash Bapat, for giving a unique topic for the seminar, which will be basically very interesting on the part of the manufacturers to know, or they might be knowing, but make available the solution right in front of them in the capacity utilization factor. In this would be a very important and unique type of a solution to the industries, which will be making the industries available surplus manufacturing capacities accessible to the companies within India and across the globe, which will be quite an interesting ideology, I would say, because we normally directly may not be able to understand or know or identify such capacity available, and it will elaborate on how the technology will help the manufacturing companies in utilizing the surplus manufacturing capacities. So with this, not taking much of all of yours time, I will request Mr. Bapat to please take us through the solutions or the topic and scope of your activities in this particular session. Thank you. From my side.
Mr. Jagirdar, maybe you'd like to introduce Mr. Avinash
Yes,
Bapat.
sir. Yes, sir. So I will introduce him.
Yes, you please introduce.
Yes. Before we start the session, I would like to share a few words of our today's speaker, Mr. Avinash Bapat. Mr. Bapat is the concept creator of Capximize India. He is a senior seasoned professional with a career spanning over 40 years, having strategic leadership and senior management experience in the manufacturing sector. He is also renowned in the financial services industry for various landmark financial structures. He has been associated with pharmaceuticals, fine chemicals, consumer products, infrastructure and renewable energy space. This has led him to develop a deep understanding of nuisance of manufacturing sector, including need for optimal utilization of capacities with improved ROI at the fulcrum. Mr. Bapat had been a speaker and moderator at various conferences organized by associations such as CII, IMC, Euromoney, etc. He is chartered accountant, that is Institute of Accountants of India, and holds a graduate degree in law. Now I would request Mr. Avinash Bapat to please start the session. Mr. Bapat.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very, very much, Mr. Sinha, Mr. Jagirdar, and the whole team at DCCI. I saw the whole presentation of DCCI and the evolution of this association getting recognized at the national level and international level. First and foremost, congratulations to you, and we are very happy to have this webinar for your members. And I would like to give you the quick genesis as to, I hope I'm audible, firstly. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
Okay. So I think what we are going to do is a quick because I would like to have more interaction rather than a monologue from my end. I would only tell you the genesis of this as to how it all started. It started many years back, but we really, after I finished my industrial career, I decided to venture into this, and so for which what we have done is that we have selected a few sectors in manufacturing where we felt that India holds a very, very key role in the global manufacturing scenario, and particularly felt slightly, I would say that the contribution of the manufacturing sector in the GDP is not really the level at which naturally the government or everybody, all of us want it to be. It's at less than 20%. Number two, which is also equally important, is that India is having such a huge talent of more than 35 crore people who are well qualified. And I think manufacturing sector is one sector which can offer good employment opportunities for many people. So one is adding the contribution of manufacturing sector to GDP. Second is opening avenues for large amount of employment. And number three is making India into a global manufacturing hub. And lastly, I'm little surprised, no doubt, but at the same time, when I had my studies over last 2 years and found out from people like Reserve Bank of India to everybody, that unfortunately today, the manufacturing capacity utilization in India is practically below 60% of its installed capacity. And it is little surprising that certain developing countries, like you take Brazil, you take Vietnam, forget EU and US and all that, but even these countries, their deploy capacity utilization is upwards of 80 to 83%. And our backward calculation on the basis of new investments, if I have room for the productions, nearly every 1% increase in our manufacturing capacity will equal to nearly $4 billion US worth value of goods. So India has a huge potential to take this capacity utilization or use these surplus capacities and make them into a kind of a tangible asset and take it forward to the globe. Visibility is one of the important points, as mentioned by Mr. Sinha also, as well as Mr. Jagirdar, that individually each company may not be able to showcase itself and its capabilities, but a platform which is going to take them globally, it would be much easier if we can showcase the available capacities of Indian manufacturers to the world at large, as well as to the Indian corporates, and give them a pan-India manufacturing options. So taking forward, there is a quick, small 2-minute corporate video, which we will just play. It's a short video, but it will give you an concept. So let us start with that.
Capximize, making Indian manufacturing capacities virtual through high-end algorithm-driven technology platform, resulting in improved ROI. Objective of the Government of India is to make India a self-reliant and global manufacturing hub. We at Capximize would strive for optimal utilization of capacities, resulting in business growth, increased employment, and improved loan portfolio. With Capximize, you can flexibly be a Capximizer, meaning capacity provider, or be a Capximizee, meaning capacity consumer. As a Capximizer, you have surplus manufacturing capacity. The platform helps you find the right partner to enhance your business opportunities, resulting in higher capacity utilization and improved ROI. As a Capximizee, you may be located anywhere in the world and are looking for pan-India manufacturing capacity options. The platform will help you to improve the effective cost of production through discovery of surplus capacities. You can continue to focus on your core competencies such as research, branding, global expansion, whilst the production needs are met through the recommender system on the platform. The secured cloud-based platform with its proprietary algorithm will use artificial intelligence to recommend the right partner for you and execute smart contracts on blockchain technology. To get started, register for free. Upload your capacity details, which will be kept masked and confidential. Capximize will help you execute long-term capacity underwriting contracts. Capximize will transform the global manufacturing landscape with enhanced ROI at the fulcrum. Collaborate, coexist, co-elevate.
So, sir, that's the concept, and I think that we are trying to make it clear in the short kind of a video. And I think this is what we want to do, is collaborate, coexist, and co-elevate, because that's where the growth will come. We cannot remain in silos. The world is looking at India with a very, very attractive opportunity. And I think this is the time where Indian manufacturing sector can really harness their available capacities and use it to its full extent. So what the platform really is doing, I will take you through a small 5-minute presentation. But prior to that, let me tell you what we have done. What we did over last 2 years, sir, is that we had engaged with the experts from 5 sectors who have spent all their life on the shop floor to understand what is the meaning of manufacturing capacity. How does it get defined? Because each sector has multiple subsector, each subsector has multiple processes, multiple machineries, multiple compliances. So we had basically all these people who designed, along with the company from the United States, who designed the UI UX information architecture for getting the capacities, available capacities uploaded, as well as searching for available capacities on a pan-India basis. So the sectors that we have covered right now primarily are pharmaceutical sector, electronic sector, component sector, textile, and non-pharma specialty chemical. Primary reason also on these selections was mainly because the Government of India targets for these sectors is a substantial growth between 2021 to 2025, which we can see in the next slides. But this was the primary reason why we had done this. We also engage ourselves in discussion with IIM Ahmedabad to understand the strategy of business positioning And one of the very key slide which we will show it is primarily making manufacturing capacities sector agnostic. Many a times what happens is that we always are looking at new business or additional business in our own space. If we are in auto component and if we are into business of casting, we will be generally, it's a human tendency to look at additional business in auto component sector. But Capximize is not a product kind of a platform. It's a platform for surplus manufacturing capacity. And manufacturing capacities can be sector agnostic. It is not necessary that you have to expand your business only and only in your own domain area. The manufacturing capacity can be used by multiple sectors. And our whole endeavor is to make available surplus manufacturing capacities in India to the Indian entrepreneurs for growth, as well as for the international and global corporates to come to India, start a plug and play, conserve capital, conserve time, and start manufacturing facility utilization. So towards that, I will quickly take you through a small presentation with your consent to explain the concept little further. And then we can, of course, take on further. Give us a second. So this is an online platform for manufacturing capacities. As of this stage, sir, we are limiting ourselves for manufacturing capacities in India. Going forward, this platform will be offering the surplus manufacturing capacities worldwide for worldwide use. As of this moment, it's the surplus manufacturing capacities in India available for utilization by any corporate located anywhere. So right now, if I take the what is really happening is that Indian manufacturing sector right now is on a real high growth trajectory. If you, I think Mr. Nilesh Pathak, I think your audio is on. If you can.
Excuse me.
Mr. Pathak, can you just mute yourself?
Can you please mute yourself? Mr. Nilesh Pathak?
Yes.
Please mute yourself. Now we can hear you.
Just a minute.
For disturbance. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So that is where we are at a very, very high level of growth trajectory. Everybody around the world knows that we can't be putting all eggs in one basket. People after COVID have started looking at multiple sourcing and developing a sourcing security towards which Indian sector is offering a very, very attractive proposition. And this is not what we are saying. This has been said by the world at large, including people who are people like John Chambers, people from China, people from the world over have made a study. And it shows that more than 20% of the global corporates are looking at having alternate manufacturing sources rather than one manufacturing location. Now, if we really look at our own self, so India is right now at an inflection point because the present government under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, we are taking forward the Make in India initiative, and really the government is giving the boost to the manufacturing sector with the expectation that the manufacturing sector's contribution to the GDP must go upwards of 20%. And that's something which I think all of us who are present on this webinar would be interested in, is to improve the manufacturing sector contribution. So really, what is the rationale when I said that these are the sectors that we have selected? This is where the government of India, on the basis of IBEF and Ecotimes predictions, these are the kind of estimates that the government wants these 5 sectors to reach up to. These are all the figures in billion US dollar, and this is where the government wants these sectors to move. Now, really, why is this opportunity so big? As I mentioned to you earlier, that we are today at the national level, including infrastructure and including all kind of industries, still our capacity utilization is barely at 60%, 60. Whereas if you look at countries like Brazil and Vietnam also, they are upwards of 81, 82%. And realistically, we are nearly 20% lower than the developed economies, and which is not really a very interesting proposition, because according to me, the talent, the tenacity, the honesty, and the quality that Indian manufacturer can produce is definitely equal to anybody who is in the developing or developed nations. And if you really see, even country like Canada, of course, country like Japan is at 94.9 percentile points on the basis of earlier years, like an index. And we are just at 60%. And as I said, our backward calculation shows nearly a 2% growth in capacity utilization will be equal to 8 billion US dollar worth of value of goods produced. So that's the kind of opportunity that we have. And why this opportunity is interesting is that right now, the Indian manufacturers have already invested their capital. They've already created manufacturing facilities. And what with zero new investment, practically zero, you might have some balancing requirements, but more or less with zero capital investment, if we are in a position to boost the manufacturing sector and have a win-win situation for both, because those who are looking for additional capacities are getting these capacity providers, which will be at a marginal costing kind, because they're already incurring their fixed cost. At the same time, you will get a pan-India option of today. We do talk about third-party or contract manufacturing, which normally happens with the word of mouth, that you're already doing it with 2 companies. You will continue to do with additional 1 more at the most. You will negotiate the rates maybe after 2 years, but a platform like this will give you a pan-India options to evaluate as to which is the best partner for you to go ahead with the manufacturing partnership. So this is the basic definition, the Capximizer, as we call it, which is the capacity provider, which will be only from India as of this stage. And they would be uploading their available surplus manufacturing capacity. Once you go to the registration form, you will get to see that the UI UX is designed in such a way that each sector is divided into subsector, each subsector into processes or components or parts. So no corporate would need more than 15-20 minutes to upload their details. These are all parameterized, and the UI UX has been made extremely consumer friendly. The Capximize is the one who is looking for utilizing this capacity and which can be located anywhere in the world. Now, one of the interesting point I will tell you, because I saw in your presentation that you have also associated with multiple chambers of commerce. And we have also, as Capximize, are associated with most of the chambers of commerce here. And during the meetings with the chamber, one of the things which comes out clearly from a Capximize perspective is that they do not have any information pertaining to the Capximizers available in India. Suppose you are with Indo-French Chamber and some of the French companies are asking the French Chamber that they want to have a manufacturing facility in India. What the chamber can do at the most is just supply the list of directory of the companies which are into that sector, not necessarily even in that subsector. Whereas here what happens is that you might be sitting in Sweden and you want some capacitors or something to be manufactured. You can just log in, start keying in all your very specific requirements in terms of sizing, in terms of material, in terms of requirements of capacities, in terms of tenure of the capacities. And on a click of a button, you will keep getting the pan-India options of how many partners can you have in India who can meet your needs. For the Capximizer, that is those who have surplus capacity, of course, the benefits are very evident. All of you are into business, so I don't need to say it more. But definitely there is a new and additional business which will be coming, which will be due to the visibility that the platform will give you for domestic and global corporates. Plus, of course, the cost competitiveness with volume growth, improved ROI with every increase in capacity use, alternate sectors for use of surplus capacities. I'll come to that slide in a second. Of course, ease of geographical expansion, because many a time capital is a constraint plus time is a constraint, and you might be looking at geographical expansion even within India. And this is something where you can play the game of make where your market is by utilizing the available capacity. You might be wanting to penetrate into Gujarat market or into UP market or Bihar market. Rather than setting up your plants there, you can utilize the existing available surplus capacity if that can meet your needs. You can grow the business on a pan-India basis also without really waiting for capital or time. Plus, of course, as the Capximize, the global sourcing security has become a very important issue. And going forward, when we go global completely in terms of Capximize, it definitely reduces substantially the carbon footprints by doing a logistic optimization. So those are the direct benefits. Now, how it works is very simple. I won't take too much of your time. Anybody who is interested in knowing more on the technology side, we will be more than happy to provide you. So it's basically you as a Capximizer register on the platform. For the members of Deccan Chamber, the registration is free. You can upload your capacity details. And if you are looking for capacity, you can register as a Capximize. And the proprietary algorithm will search through the available information on a pan-India basis and give you the partnership option, or the recommender system will recommend these are the players with whom you can partner, and the overall ecosystem that we have built around the platform will facilitate the closure or the conclusion of the transaction. So industry sector that we have taken, we won't take too much of your time, but to just give you a feel that each sector is subdivided into multiple subsectors. These are only demonstrative subsectors, but each subsector then further has been divided into hundreds of touch points in terms of their machineries, processes, compliances, capabilities, workforce, documentation, and the works. So every single subsector is also further subdivided into the information architecture. So this is for textile. Similarly, we are into pharmaceutical. In pharmaceuticals, we are in both sides, that is in bulk drug as well as formulation. You might be into bulk drug, you might have your special steel reactor, glass line reactors, you might have a surplus capacity in filtration, you might have centrifuges, bottom discharge, top discharge, having some surplus capacity. Every single part of the manufacturing is dissected and made available as capacities. Whether you are in solid oral for formulation, or you are in ointments or creams, you are into liquid syrup emulsions, or you might be in KSM and intermediate. All of this has been covered in terms of our information. Similarly, for specialty chemicals, you might have, this would be non-pharma related also chemicals. There are multiple applications of the chemicals which are into right from paint industry to multiple resins. And what really has been analyzed for that is the kind of reaction capability you have, blending capacities you have, filtration equipments what you have, drying equipments what you have, reduction or milling sizing you have. So these are being devised into those kind of information architecture. Go down. Take a case of, say, electronics and electricals. We are doing the electronic components or the processes. Like we will give you one small 2-minute demo video, which will give you an idea as to how detailed, though the information architecture is designed, how convenient and easy it is for uploading that information, because it has been parameterized as per the needs of the sector. Go ahead. So, sir, that's the kind of primary presentation that we had. We will just show you one more thing, and that is the small demo of the PCBs in terms of electronic, as to how the information is captured and how you can search. So this first get Capximizer. 1 second, sir. Sorry, Capximizer first. Yeah. So, sir, this was just to give you a feel in terms of how deep and how detailed, because this will go on and I don't want to take the time of everybody. You are more than welcome to come to the registration page. You will know that. So what really we have done is that we have gone into the minutest detail in terms of understanding manufacturing capacities and moving forward. Now, these are, of course, other subsectors like processes, components in auto components, as to how we have divided those auto component side, because I feel that in your memberships, there are a lot of people who are also in auto component. We can give you the complete details as to how this information is captured in terms of auto components, divided into components and processes. Go ahead. Now, this is an interesting slide. I think you will be able to appreciate that what we are saying is that a manufacturing capacity can be sector centric, but it can definitely be sector agnostic, because the use of the manufacturing capacity can be by multiple industries. And the whole objective, whether it is a Deccan Chamber, whether it is Capximize, whether it is anybody, all our endeavor is to help our members, and as far as Capximize is concerned, to the Indian manufacturing sector, to enhance the business opportunity, utilize capacities higher, and improve your ROI. That's our objective, same way that the objective of the chamber also. And what we would like to highlight here is that there is an opportunity where you can go beyond your sector thought processes, and the manufacturing capacities can be used by multiple sectors whenever you have surplus available capacity. Now, this is, of course, are the platform features, which are extremely high level of security, confidentiality. None of the members' name would be available to anybody. Every member, you might be the largest corporate in the world, or you might be a small, medium-sized company in India. Everybody has a 12-digit unique ID number. So all through your discussions, you will be having a UID, which is your identity. So it is all utmost confidentiality is maintained. You have the standard encryption, firewalls. There is a constant OTP on your mobile as well as on your email whenever you are visiting the platform and wanting to make any transaction, any entries. You have a real-time search because it's cloud-based. It is available 24/7. You might be in any part of the world, but the platform is available to you all the time. And the UI UX has been designed by this US company in such a easy manner that it does not take too much of your time to upload your details. The artificial intelligence will certainly keep looking at the matching and the recommendation requirements, as well as proximity search, where you might be very close to what the person is looking for. So that's the AI part of it. These are, of course, the best-in-class technology is what we have utilized on all fronts: securities, maintenance, applications, innovations, you name it. And as I said, anybody from your member interested in knowing more about technology, we have a complete team. We have the Siret team, which has 200 people working in Pune. We have our own team working out of Mumbai. So anytime the technology roadmap anybody wants to discuss, we are more than happy to do so. Go ahead. Some of the members that we are already dealing with, as you mentioned, like that, the Indo-Dutch, EU-India, Indo-French, Indo-German, FIO, IDMA, Textile Association, Texprosil, Elsina, the works. I mean, this is just a demo list, but we have got the membership of everybody, and that runs into hundreds of them. Go ahead. And this is what is the last slide of mine, which is the ecosystem partner. So what happens is that the platform will be able to recommend the right partner for you. And at the same time, you need multiple partners to get everything finally closed out, like the techno-commercial DD agencies, manufacturing associations to help us in terms of their members' benefit, logistics supply chain companies, international chambers, banks and NBFCs, large amount of the law firms, a large amount of banking sector is reeling under a lot of stress in terms of medium-sized corporates. It is nothing to do with the intent of the corporates, but it's just a business environment, unfortunate COVID issues of last 2 years, which has dragged the financial performance down of many companies. And the banking sector is looking for solution. Now, banking sector cannot be engaging themselves into things like a Capximize, but they are very, very keen to support this initiative by saying that their member companies or the banking sector's members, they would be in a position to take the benefit of this. And that's what we have in mind. Go ahead. So that's a presentation from my side, and I'm done with in terms of the presentation, and I'm open to have any of the queries that any of the participating member has, and I'll be more than happy to my best abilities. Whatever I can answer, I will answer right away. If you have an answer, we'll take down your number and we'll get back to you and solve that issue. So please. You can take, Mr. Jagirdar, you can take over for the further discussions.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bapat. This was a very nice type of, I would say, software and presentation on your side. And I think the industrialist or entrepreneurs or maybe businessmen would definitely find a lot many new avenues for their business expansion and growth and diversity. And what I saw from your presentation that getting the data in a software system with I think this must be a web-based system. It looks very easy to put a data and generate collect the information, right?
Absolutely.
What I gathered as a layman or maybe first time viewer of this software, so that looks interesting rather, I would say. So the practically those who are emerging entrepreneurs or maybe startups or maybe established organizations can make use of this software and do the things quite reasonably faster, because otherwise.
Yes. So Jagirdar sir, so the whole objective is to get additional business opportunities for Indian manufacturing sector, at the same time giving the Indian manufacturing sector the global visibility. And on the platform, you will be in a position to get the companies which are looking for manufacturing options in India to come to India and start with a plug and play, make where your market is and conserve your capital, conserve your time, and start utilizing the existing available manufacturing capacity, which becomes otherwise an illiquid asset for an entrepreneur. It becomes a liquid asset then in that case for him. So that's the whole purpose, is to business growth.
Right. That is really very interesting, and I think really those who wanted to expand their business or the business or property or asset which is not in use can be even utilized by somebody else, and the person who is not willing to run the business will also earn money also out of it without doing anything, by giving his property for somebody else for a lease or something like that. So it is both will be in the good position in terms of business. So nobody is loser in this whole process.
Correct.
Right. So I request participants amongst all those who are present in this session, have any doubt or any question or anything to see or ask Bapat Sahab, they can very well come up and or put their question into the chat box. So I request the members or appeal the members, please come forward, get your ideas or doubts clear, so that would be fruitful or useful for you people in your business. Anyone from the participants have some doubt or question or further wanted to understand or know on this particular facility which is available in the company?
Also, Mr. Jagirdar, I will request also one thing, that if you can just get your members to visit the website which
Right.
is www.capximize.com, because many a
Right.
times what happens is that you need to chew the thought process, what has been discussed. You might have your queries or your question coming to your mind little later. We will be more than happy. You can just drop in a mail or make a call, and we will be very happy to answer.
Annie ma'am, please mute yourself.
Yeah, that's true, Bapat sir. I think members, please, you can log into the company website. The company name is Capximize India Private Limited, and the website is www.capximize.com. And I request Darshana to share
Yes,
the
sir.
website through our mail ID to all the participants to this session.
Definitely, sir. So you can also share your presentations while sending the write-up to all companies. We can share your presentation also.
Surely. More than happy to do that. We'll definitely do that.
That will be the ready-made solution available to the participants.
Yep. More than happy.
Sure. Yeah. So if nobody has any further question on this, I request Darshana to please summarize the session, and we can conclude this webinar.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Deccan Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture and a valued guest, ladies and gentlemen, I, Darshana, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our today's guest, Mr. Avinash Bapat, Mr. Ratan Sinha, Mr. H.P. Srivastava, and Mr. Mukund Jagirdar for gracing your important work and sharing with us valuable information and opinions today. I would also like to thank all of you present here for your support and coordination. Once again, thank you everyone. We all see you soon during our next program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you participants. Thank you, Mr. Bapat and Darshana and Sinha sir. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank
All
you.
the best. Take care. Goodbye.
So please share your presentation also.
Yeah, I will send it across. I will send it
Yes.
across.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello.